Hello, this is Mike Lively, and that wonderful day has finally arrived. I have started the Lively's Flash Builder user group. Now, you may be wondering, well, what is Flash Builder if you've never heard of it before? Well, there's been somewhat of an evolution of technology here over the past few years. Now, I'm not an evolutionist in any way, but as far as technology is concerned, there is an evolution. And here we go right here. There was an Adobe product that came out. It was like Flex 1, and you couldn't do anything with it because it was on a server. Then Flex 1.5 came out, and you still really couldn't do anything with it. It wasn't until Flex 2 came out. And then Adobe called that Flex 3 in the next iteration. And in the next iteration, they called that Flash Builder. And now they've actually iterated again, and they've created a piece of software for mobile, which does Flex as well, or Flash Builder as well, and that's called Burrito. Now, on the SDK side, the one you may not purchase that you'll download for free, that's called Flex 2, Flex 3, Flex 4, and now Hero. So you see these names are evolving and changing. Now, this can get a little bit confusing because sometimes a company might want a Flash Builder programmer, and you might have Flex listed on your resume because most people don't know what Flash Builder is. And they say, oh yeah, I do Flash Builder, just the name Flex is Flash Builder. And then now Burrito's here, and no one's going to know what that is, so you put Burrito Mobile on your resume, and no one's going to know that's Flash Builder. So it's a little bit confusing, but technology is moving very rapidly. Just hang on and enjoy the ride. So this is a wonderful users group, and we got a small group, and it's starting to grow. But one of the big reasons I started this group was basically to train people to help people. And along with this, I've also started a nonprofit. And so this site really is for you, to help you with your training. And I got a little comment down here. Basically, the Flash Builder user group was specifically started to train underemployed and unemployed programmers. And basically to help them get jobs. And that's what we're trying to do. And the one thing I think I'm the best at in the world, more than anyone else, is actually training groups of people to move contracts forward, and I've done a lot of that, and I really enjoy it. So it's definitely something I feel like I can be the best in the world, and it's something I just love to do. It's one of my passions. I just love people. I love helping people, but I also love training groups of technologists to accomplish projects. And if your company needs someone to come in and bring up a group of people in about 6 weeks to accomplish a great task, bring me in, because I love doing that type of thing. So we've only been around now for about a month, and I'm very excited about this. Let's go back home. There's only 3 posts, and this will be the 4th post. And, of course, Stuart Crickmer is one of our members, and he actually brought a violin from one of my kids to play. And so that's the fun stuff, you got to talk about your kids and your family because that's what it's all about. And you can see all my kids jumped in on the violin lessons I was giving. And then I have a little Adobe cheat sheet right here, and we're getting very interested in using Burrito because mobile's on its way. Burrito is fantastic software, and so it's a cheat sheet how to get started, how to get your computer up and going. And then here's the user's minutes. So I'll just talk about the minutes real quick here. Basically, what we did during our second meeting is that we worked with setting up David on Burrito, Android, and Google Apps. So we're actually going to be using 3 or 4 pieces of software to program the Android Burrito. There's something called Google Apps Inventor, and also doing it in Java. Once we did that, we actually discussed the goals of my nonprofit, and then I taught David about hedgehogging, which is a very interesting. Hedgehogging basically is when you get ready to start a business, you want to think like a hedgehog and not like a fox. Now, a fox always tries to eat the hedgehog, but what happens? The hedgehog has one thing it does really well, and it coils up into a ball, and the fox can't get it. So the fox tries to figure out some other way to eat the hedgehog. So one way to hedgehog a business is, first of all, think about what are your passions. And then what are your expertise? And what I mean by that, what you can be better than anyone else in the world. And then how do you bill it? And pretty much what is your formula per X? And the intersection of those is basically how you should hedgehog your business, or that's what you should be concentrating on. And sometimes it takes a lot of people a long time to figure these things out. This is a great model because I often meet people who are very passionate about what they're doing, but they have no idea how to accomplish it. They haven't thought about these bottom 2 down here. And then sometimes you have people who actually have thought about the first 2, and they're working on it, but they're not very good at billing. They haven't figured out how to make money at it. So once again, this is a very important place to start. We talked about that a little bit with David. He was new, and the way things are going now is that colleges used to basically shape people to get a job for a company, and the company basically would shape their ambitions. But that's not the way it is anymore. You can expect to be out in the world as a programmer and just go from contract to contract. And so you need to become an entrepreneur. And so in order to do that, you need to start thinking about your own entrepreneurship and about shaping your goals and desires and what you want to accomplish in life. So there's a lot of that involved here these days, and it's very important, especially in this business. Then what we did, we talked about the SQL Server 2000, 2008, and I actually have a whole YouTube channel on that. It's SQL Server 2008 R2 playlist. Let me go to that real quick. And this is my playlist if you want to copy down this URL right here. And you can go through here. I have 7 videos up, and I'm putting up more every day. And one of the reasons I've really decided to concentrate on SQL Server, first of all, it just doesn't matter anymore. You can use any type of server backend because you're in the cloud. And so you pretty much can connect to anything. And that's one of the great things that has happened with technology most recently, is that the barriers that used to be there are no longer there. And if you're a good programmer, you can work on many different types of technologies. And that's exactly what businesses are looking at. They're not really looking for people that do one thing really good anymore. They're looking for people that can do many things really good. And the way technology is, you can actually come up to speed and do that. That's my SQL Server playlist, and feel free to go through that. It's free. Of course, everything I do, I try to make it free if I can. So what's important about basically doing server stuff back end is that it really forces you to think about what's going to go into your business. And so for people who I do a hedgehog, and the next thing I'm going to say, once your hedgehog is done, let's see your database. And then you can design from there the front end and the back end and connect the two. So from that point, we actually went through the Burrito checklist, which we'll be going through in this series of videos and getting you up to speed on getting Burrito ready on your desktop. And finally, we gave a little homework assignment. And the assignment is, of course, by Christopher Conritz. And basically what he does is he builds an Android app for you, and then he actually shows you how to do HTTP service, remoting, and also SQLite. So this is just fantastic stuff. Tremendous article. Make sure you go through the homework assignment. Once you come to speed and build your first Hello Burrito program, you want to do this next, okay? Especially if you're experienced in Flash Builder or Flex. So let's move on from here. Let's go back. And once that was done, we ended the meeting, and we've got a full agenda for next time. We're actually going to be showing you how to package these different applications. And in addition, we spent some time looking at the Google App Inventor, which has a cool block side, which enables you to basically prototype applications very rapidly. Cool stuff, and we're moving forward with this technology. And in the next video, I'm going to start with the Burrito cheat sheet, and we're going to get your computer ready and get you started with Hello Burrito. Thanks for listening. This is Mike Lively. I'll see you next time.